Guys, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I could really easily just do another 10-minute angry rant video. Like, I got the content. I only made it through the first episode last time. That's how bad this is. And make no mistake, Cardfight Vanguard Will+Dress is very fucking bad. Like, for me, this is borderline unwatchable. I really hate what's happening. I really hate what's going on. But I don't feel you accomplish much if all you're going to do is just get angry and just talk about why the plot is stupid. And yeah, occasionally it's fun to do one of those, but I don't think we're going to get anything constructive from it. So for this video, I'm going to try and be more focused. And I want to focus on why I think this isn't working. Now, many of you could say, oh, well, the last video was that. You said the plot's stupid. Well, I think you can get away with a dumb plot or a bad plot or a generic plot, which all of these things are. I mean, hell, it's a fucking card game anime. It's not like this is the highest, most logical form of art we're talking about here. But I feel like you can make any sort of story work if you get two things right. If you get character motivation and their emotional reactions right. And we are not even trying with this show. And that is, I think, where things are really falling apart, is that I just don't care about anything because I don't feel like the people working on the show care enough to make it feel like anything. So I'd like to kind of just talk about what I mean by all this and why it's really what's hurting things. So let's begin with motivation, because I feel it's the easiest thing for most people to think. It's like, oh, well, they say what the character's doing and why they're doing it all the time. Why, that's motivation, right? Not exactly. You see, that is at its core what motivation is. Yu doesn't want uniformers to take over the world because he thinks that would be bad. That's a perfectly logical, sensible motivation. But do they do anything with it? Does it feel like anything beyond that? Does it give you any reason to care about anything else other than the 1, 2, 3 times he said it? Not really. Let's take a look at all our villains we've had this season. So far, this season has consisted of everybody turning bad guy for 5 seconds and then being saved by basically just a not as interesting pep talk as when Yu saved Urara in the previous arc. It genuinely feels like they put all the effort into the Urara thing last season and then are just sort of hoping you'll just kind of go along with everything as it gets progressively worse presented to us. And a big part of it is just the ever-growing lack of good motivation from everybody. So let's look at why our characters have gone evil. So far, we've had 2 girls who have gone bad because they were seeking the attention and approval of men in their lives. That happened. We had 1 woman who went bad because she doesn't know what to do if she can't be a primary caregiver. Seeing a pattern here. And also we had a guy who's gone bad while trying to protect 2 women. Again, does anyone but me seeing this right now, like, please tell me you understand why there's a problem with everything I just mentioned that is actually canonical in this show. But yeah, like, sexist writing aside, once these characters go bad, the only reason they have for going bad kind of just amounts to they want to get stronger. That's all anyone ever says again, over and over again. I want to get stronger. I want to get stronger. Uniformers can make you stronger. You want to get stronger, 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 stronger. That's not that interesting. Think about all your favorite arcs in, say, Yu-Gi-Oh! Think about all the most compelling villains. Was their motivation, I want to get stronger at Yu-Gi-Oh! Or was there more to them? Did they have reasons for why they wanted to be what they did? Did they have compelling backstories? Chances are you're going to say yes to those questions. Or let's look at Shadow vs. Flame. You have a whole messy cast of characters here. And the way it balances it all out is by making it that their motivations are not just, I want to be good at Shadowverse. That is a big part of their lives, but it's not the only part. You learn about their backstories, you learn about their own issues, you learn about what makes them feel inadequate, what makes them want acceptance, what makes them want to find a place for themselves in the world. Shadowverse just ends up being a uniting factor and a big part of it, but it doesn't feel like the only part. That's what makes characters feel like characters. These guys in Overdress, they're not characters. They immediately, the minute they have a single bit of issue with the one thing in their life being Vanguard, then immediately go to the most dangerous self-destructive option possible. There's no build up to it. There's no showing what else is going on in their lives. They just do it, and it seems to have no greater consequences, and it seems to have no impact on anyone around them. They don't feel like characters at this point. They're caricatures. They are exactly what they are. Just marketing tools to sell you more trading cards because it's very apparent. The design team comes up with mask cards, and then Bushiroad tells the writers to just make an episode based around it. And they have done basically that. They have done the bare minimum of character does this, character does that, new card gets shown off, episode over. And, well, it's just not interesting or investing heavy. So we should probably move on next to emotion. There's none of it. There's none of it. I know I keep harping on about no one reacting to anything, but here's the thing. That's why you care. That's how you relate to the characters, is through their emotional growth and struggles. In last season, when Urara got controlled and was like eerie and creepy, and you saw Tamari's reactions, and you saw Yu as he tried to reach to her, it was a really powerful set of scenes. It was well directed, it was well paced, it was well animated. It was the shining star in a sea of mediocrity, and none of that has carried over on to this. Everyone who is possessed now just acts like they normally do, just a little angrier, or in Zakuza's case, just a little hammier. There's no emotion coming out of anyone at all, and the way everyone deals with it is also really uninteresting. Mirai is just the same tone the entire episode. Danji is just the same way the whole time. There's no emotional reaction to anything, and there was no emotional reaction because their motivations weren't right going into this. Like I was saying before in Yu-Gi-Oh!, if you take some of your best examples of characters going bad and showing you their motivations, you also felt for them emotionally. And I don't feel for anyone here because you don't set anything up. There's nothing to anything, and it just leads to this very just bland experience. And it sucks because a lot of the stuff that's in here is stuff I like. And I think I've brought this before, I like creepy mind control stories. I like cerebral horror. I think all of these things can be really good when done correctly, but so many stories treat them like just a cheap, generic thing. Now, some of you may be saying, well, this most recent episode tried to give characters more emotional growth and delved into their motivations. And yes, this was a decent effort, but it's too little too late. We have not brought up the fact that Megumi was being controlled. That seems to just be forgotten. Yeah, that's just over. Tamari doesn't seem to care about Zakuza. That sucks. Urara seems in no way, shape, or form scared or horrified about what has happened to her. And the whole she can't hear the music or whatever the fuck anymore has literally just been brought up in this most recent episode, and that's it. And again, like, if Yu did something like when he fought Jinky, if he said, like, I'm mad because of what you did to Urara, yeah, that's pretty sexist along the lines of what I brought up before, but at least it be something. Or the way everyone reacts to the weird tan girl who's also, like, 7 feet tall is just kind of like, oh, okay, she's just here. All this shit's just happening. All this mind control shit is just a thing in the world. No one is freaking out. No one is scared anymore. There's just no reason to care. And I really want to. And that's why I think between this, Go Rush, and Shadowverse, I think this is the worst one because the writers don't care, and in turn, I kind of don't. But do you? I'm sure people are still into this, and if you are, that's fine. Shut up, cars! In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on this episode. As for the Vanguard question of the week, Champion Series schedules are coming out. I know a lot of them are day 1 will be D and V, day 2 Weiss and V. So Weiss and Premium. So my question is, what are you looking at? I unfortunately cannot make day 1 this year. Unfortunately, because I also missed day 1 of Springfest. But I'm totally in on that fucking premium game. I love me some premium. Were you hoping Shadowverse would maybe get an event? It kind of looks like this will be the last V event. But talk about all that below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me at some point if there's something to talk about, I guess.